They wrote about our prophet, and I'm not no fake scholar, no fake educator. So when I tell Moors, they be like, what they should read, the first thing you should be reading your Moorish Quran, and you should have all the books that go with understanding your Moorish Quran, and you should be falling under the auspices that teach Moorish science. You should be under the auspices that teach more science. But like, here go one of the books when I tell people, it's so many books that you can find about Noble Drew Ali. Just like when I talk about Peter Moon and Montauk Mysteries and the Spandu Magic, and when I talk about Peter Lambert Wilson and all the Europeans that wrote about our prophet, when I tell y'all, I say, man, I don't know what y'all talking about. People wrote about our prophet, and only thing our prophet did was defended the Constitution. This is publicated in the Library of Congress catalog and public data. When I be telling people, you can't get caught up when people talk about stuff, because certain numbers are nothing but doc numbers you can look up in the Library of Congress. But let me give y'all a little something, the introduction, what he said about our Noble Drew Ali. Let me give it a little preface. Let me see if I can get to it. If not, I'm gonna pass by. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all some pictures in the book. Look what they got in the book. This is our prophet Noble Drew Ali. When I be telling people, this man wasn't no mystery. The only people that don't know about him is Negroes and Negro blacks and colored. People know about him, especially Masons, especially historians. I told y'all, the Aladdis, what the Spencer do, a European that wrote about where I'm going to Ohio State University this summer. I'm a lecturer on it. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, 1925, 4 years before his death, posing formally as Prophet, Sharif, and Mason, from who was Noble Drew Ali by Isa al-Madid. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, 1925, 4 years before his death, posing formally as Prophet, Sharif, and Mason. I don't know what people be talking about. Mason is not nothing European. If you don't understand that, you're not an elite, and you don't know any science. You just playing. You just playing. Even your dad that think he's a master mason, he don't know, because if he did know, he would have told you, and it would have came out that shallow grave a long time ago. Lost found Moorish timelines in the wilderness of North America. Listen to this. The image, crumbling 1920s photograph of an American black man dressed in a robe, sash, and fez, posing formally, hand on breast like Napoleon. Labeled Prophet Noble Drew Ali, 1886 to 1929. To recover the meaning of this obscure and enigmatic portrait, we must rediscover a lost or secret portion of our own history. For American history is defined for us as much by its absence and disappearances as by its official presence. Indeed, perhaps even more so. The official sources describe Noble Drew Ali as founder of the first black Islamic sect in America. In truth, he was less than this. Now, listen when I say words. When it says in truth, he was less than this, meaning he wasn't the first to bring this more science and this American Islam back. That's what we have to know. Noble Drew Ali said he gathered and compiled, and he was bringing us back to our remembrance. I keep telling y'all, our prophet was inspired by people. Who? Deuce Muhammad, Abdul Hamid Solomon. I'm telling y'all, man, all you got to do is start researching, get out your lower self, and get it to wisdom. For there were, you said, in truth, he was less than this. For there were black Muslims here before him. But he was also more than this. He was an American prophet. He was an American prophet. He could have stepped from the pages of Melville or Ishmael Reed. A thought of Allah clothed in the flesh. A fact. A poetic fact. Do y'all hear that? I ain't even gonna go all into it. But these is one of the books that's in my library that I print on my printing press. You see how it's binded? Ivan Van Sertima, The Golden Age of the Moors. I got all those. Go on Amazon and see how much Ivan Van Sertima book costs, The Golden Age of the Moors, if it's still on there. Go on Amazon and see how much these books cost if you can get them on there. I have them. And I know Moors don't have it. I know Moors don't have it. So I'm gonna give you a little crash course. This is gonna be a bonus book I'm gonna give to a couple of my students. When I say I know Moors don't have literature, I know Moors don't know what the science of the Moorish Science Temple is all about. I know you don't, because you don't have the science. And you just listen to somebody talking, and you don't want to be a student. Moors just want to follow entertainment. Well, I ain't the entertainer. So you can follow all that other stuff. When the Moor going to ask me the other day, man, you should follow this person. No disrespect. I always have to tell the truth. It was some social media dude that's always talking, and somebody was like, you should follow him. He always be saying some good stuff. I'm like, follow him to go where? Because I'm going to place. And the people that's with me, we going somewhere. And I'm like what? I mean, I'm not here for likes. Okay, you like it. And follow it. Where we going? Where we going with following? Then the catchphrase build. Building ain't just talking. Building is doing something. And building is based on finance and education and nationality. That's the only way I want to build. And if we ain't getting money together per se, when I say money, I'm talking about education, because that's money. Education, that's money. Spirituality, that's money. And then economics as the group, that's money. If we ain't talking about that, building as a people, because we got to know who we are as a people in our spirituality, our nationality, and our economics. If we don't know that, I don't need to be rocking with nobody or having no conversation. I don't have time to be playing or talking to nobody that ain't really serious about what they trying to do, especially in their own home and in the world. You might as well stop dealing with me off the top, because I ain't the one. Guarantee you that. You got time to be playing, or me just collecting money from y'all. All these people that y'all follow, y'all giving money to, and they collecting offerings. What is it going for? Because they're not a non-profit organization. They're not helping nobody. All you doing is paying people. And then you get on here and talk about the churches. But then you giving donations to other people that are not teaching the things. You doing the same thing. That's a different platform. You paying somebody to run their damn mouth. It ain't going back to nowhere. Where the literature? Everybody that these Moors be listening to, somebody talk good to, or I send them donations. Where the literature? Where the education? You're going to be the same way next year. Your kids going to be the same. You're going to be the same. Everything going to be the same about you. Just talking. Catchphrases. So all praise is due to Allah, and many blessings unto all of y'all. You know? What I want to talk about is the science of learning. The science of learning. Because it's a science, and you understanding is the rock on which man builds himself or herself, and the gifts of understanding are the treasures of Allah, and he appointed to everyone his portion. In what measure seek good unto himself, and within the law of learning you must accept only that which appeals to your heart as truth, and let the rest pass for the time being, for each comes his own, and none can gain his own until he or she is prepared for the work. I'm telling y'all, I told y'all, man, y'all gonna miss me when I'm gone. Because if Moorish not serious to this teaching, I have a problem with it. I have a problem with the seriousness of men. That's why I tell you, that's why I don't be friends with guys, especially guys that say they Moors. Because when I examine your life, and when you examine my life, and they fall off, it's because I'm serious and I'm dedicated. And I don't have time for no man with no weakness stuff, complaining. And you say you connected to God. If you want to do anything, you rise above, because you have the keys. And if you ain't operating like that, when Moorish talk about let's build, and Moorish be giving me their phone number, I don't just want to talk, because it ain't nothing to talk about if we're not going to put things in operation. Us just having a conversation, I don't want to have no conversation with somebody that need to be a student, because what we going to be talking about? Nothing. After we get done talking, you going to go back to your miserable life, I'm going to go back to my life, nothing's happening. But we following people, giving them donations. I told y'all, I'm collecting funds, we're going to build something. I want us to build a temple out here. When Moors give donations, I have a full library. This is an education. This is true Moorish science. Moorish science is not the building. If you think that, you need to go on and follow that. I can give you a refund for your money, and you go follow those teachings, what everybody been telling you. And Moors don't even have the Quran. They don't even have no literature. You talk about you following some teachings of Noble Drew Ali. Stop playing with me. That's why I say the great meaning is on. That's why when you enter a temple, any temple is supposed to be, no matter if it's a physical temple or the temple within, you're supposed to leave all your earth cares and troubles outside. You don't come in no various ills or wants, but you try and bring the mind in rapport with spiritual thoughts and ideas. With spiritual thoughts and ideas. And the mind of the student should be in a passive state rather than an active state. Pure thoughts by love of truth and humility and harmony. Hold on. How can we help you guys today?
I'm just looking for a tie.
All right. A certain color you're looking for?
Like just peach.
Plain peach? Or
just like, I don't know.
Well, take a look. If you need something, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
All right. But the student should not desire anything in particular, but unite in being pleased to receive that which is the best for all. And that's wisdom. Moors be coming in this talking about, oh, I want to learn how to write some writ, or I want to learn how to write something off. That ain't more science. You coming in here like you want something, like you running from the law, and that is not what this is about. This is no criminal stuff. And every more communists talk about they trying to not pay some bill or they trying to get something free. That ain't what this about. But a meeting may produce most important results, not only for those who take part in it, but also for their unconscious neighbors. So when you teaching righteously, when you're coming from love, it's going to rub off on others and they're going to listen to it. So when I tell Moors, it's just not for you. It's for you and your family and your wife and your kids. This is a family thing. But in order that it may do this, the member must understand the hidden side of the meetings and must work with a view to produce the highest possible effects. And many members utterly overlook this most important part of their work and have in consequence quiet and unworthy idea of what a temple is per se. Right? They don't even know. A lot of members may feel that meetings are often rather dull and they don't understand the basic principles of learning systematically. Right? So when we talk about the science of thought, your thoughts are the blueprints for your reality. And if you entertain thoughts which are beneath your level of consciousness, which is your lower self, then you are wasting your incredible thought capacity on unworthy exercises. When I tell Moors they doing all these rituals and you got all this, I don't care about what ritual you do. I don't care what medallion you have if you're not right. You know, it's the vessel. Right? So the great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss places and things. And small minds discuss other people. Did y'all catch that? Do y'all need to write that down? Do y'all want me to say that again? Good?
Yeah, I see.
Take your time, brother. You good? Did y'all hear what I said? When I said, I don't want to be around just anybody. I need to be around the people that's vibrating like me. Every Moor is not my brother and my friend. We bubblate. I don't have time just to be socializing, and we're not doing nothing. So let me say this again. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss places and things. Small minds discuss other people. Great minds discuss ideas. Everything I'm doing, I'm showing y'all ideas how we can build, how we got a school, how we can teach our babies, how if the education system is not teaching us, and if the law is not teaching, we must create our own. That's great minds discussing ideas, saying that we can have our own building in Arizona. And then I can take this pattern all over and I can be the traveling sheik or minister and come into every area. We can have our own neighborhoods. That's what great minds discuss ideas. And we put our money where our mouth is, under our nonprofit organization, under our tax status. Average minds discuss places and things. Like for people, oh, you finna sell your money to go on a vacation, or you finna talk about some things, or like a thing is buying something, clothing, or places. And small minds discuss other people, always talking about somebody else, or talking about what somebody else is or isn't, or lying to people saying that you can make somebody something and you have no rights to do none of that. Right? That's why the law of thought says that you become what you think about most of the time. When I tell Moors, you are what you eat, you are what you hang around, how you say you a Moor? And then this like, I know young Moors and they say they rappers and stuff. And then when I say what you rapping about, they talking about selling drugs, hustling, pimping, doing all this. And then you jump on social media and try to talk some Islamist, talk some righteous stuff. One, you confusing the people. That's confusion. Because if you righteous at all time, and that's what you rap about. You rap about coming from that. You don't rap it like you still trapping. That don't even make sense. You confusing the people, and I don't care how old you are. If you have a fez on, and then you rapping and you talking all that stuff, you confusing the children. That's a bad image. That's a bad image. Don't fill your mind with thoughts that are below the type of nature of thoughts you are capable of thinking, or should be thinking. Otherwise, these lower thoughts will manifest in your life. Like, for instance, I know nobles, every time they get into a situation with their empress, the first thing they want to do is go out and drink and cheat. instead of having a conversation with your empress. Y'all done had a disagreement. You're going to go out and give yourself away. You're going to go out and not only disrespect Allah, you're going to disrespect yourself and disrespect your family instead of knowing how to channel that energy. I keep telling Moors, narcissistic behavior is good when it's channeled the right way. You must understand yourself. You must understand your Akashic records. You must understand your astrological sign to know how you operate. If you don't know how you operate, it's something definitely wrong with you. And that's the problem with men. We don't want to be around a men that can help us. That's why we're not winning. That's why we don't own nothing. That's why we don't have businesses. That's why a lot of Moorish men can't teach their empresses, because they don't know how to be a part of something. Even if you permit yourself to think lower thoughts and jest unintentionally, the subconscious mind accepts as true whatever thought is in your mind, intentional or unintentional. We're more talking about, oh, I didn't do it on purpose. So your mind accepts what thoughts that's in your brain. It then produces the object. It puts it out in your life or in your experience. So what I tell more is that you don't permit lower, unproductive thoughts, which do not support your goals and purpose, to occupy your mind. Oh, it ain't hurt me. It ain't doing you no good. It ain't doing you no good to be following all this trash. It's not doing you no good, because I told Morris, I'm not here for likes. I'm not here for no followers. I'm a student. I'm trying to build something beautiful for us, for we can have. Anybody that's dealing with me and I'm seeing you playing, I'll politely give you your money back. I'll politely give you your $250 back. I will politely give it back. It don't make me no difference. Anybody that's playing, following that goof, you can have your money back. And I would tell you that, and it ain't no disrespect, because it ain't about the money to me, and all money don't mean nothing. It's the right people I'm building with. I'm trying to build something for life, something that we can have consistently, something that you can be a part of all your life. You ain't trying to just be no student for a couple weeks to learn something, and then you're not a student no more. This is life. We building something for life. We are Moors for life. We building this for life. Anything that you donate, taxes up at the end of the year, we building. And you should share this with your people. If you pay attention to the lower self, the unproductive thoughts, you will not achieve your goals and purpose. In fact, you will be laying the foundation for your own failure, if not too distant future. It's going to happen fast. You got to remember, reflection is the business of man, and a sense of his state is the first duty. And this is the understanding of what we think and how we think. For it is our first duty to learn of our thoughts. That's why when it says man must know thyself, we must know our lower self and understand it. And that's when we have death of the lower self, because our pendulum swings and we control it. This is the understanding that we have to think and how we think. For it is our first duty, man. How y'all think the prophet began to uplift the Moorish Americans? By them to be themselves. When I tell us, be yourself, if I'm teaching you to my Asbis, wear your fez with proud. Empresses, wear your turban with proud. Empresses, when you get your white fez with the gold tassel, wear it. Be you. Be honorable. Our prophet said, if I could just get you to think, you can free yourselves. That's all I'm doing. I'm a vessel and a map. I never said I was God. We all are gods. But I have a divine mission. It's something that Allah gave me. And I'm fulfilling my Akashic record. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. If I'm a teacher, damn it, I'm supposed to teach. And you're supposed to be willing to be taught, no matter what it costs. Like your life depended on it. If this is so serious to you, man, you should want this just like you want food. Just like you want to do any other thing. If this that important to you. But it's not. That's why the truth of wealth lies not upon the surface of the ground, but all we have to do is dig away the rocky soil or the negative thoughts and the doubt and a Western thought process and a Negropean thought process. Recondition ourselves, educational, spiritual, and finances. Understand those three pillars and devolve down real deep into the earth. Hold on, y'all. Thank you so much, my tailor is gone. Did you buy a suit for me? Yeah, she'll be here tomorrow at noon. And then she leaves at 6. Wait, that'll be fine. You come in about 4. I'll have her stay to about like 6:37. All right. You're welcome. All right, all right. But I said, you got to find the treasures hidden in yourself, hidden in the field of that energy. Then you will have dug away the rocky soil, and deep down in the earth, which is the positive thoughts, you will find a mine. Think about it, mine, or the MIND, the mind of gold, which is what? Your higher self. That's why we talk about know thyself. Our attitude is a form of human radiation. When I said I know how a person operating, I'm connected, man. This is the house of La Ali. I understand my adapt wisdom and my voodoo. I operate on spirits. I operate on vibrations. I know what a person's ultimatum is and where they coming before they speak. And when I break down words to them, they bow down themselves. It's just what it is. And I step away from it. You got to be in tune with this. If you're not in tune with it, then you're just going to go through life being disappointed. People give you the signs. You're not paying attention to the whisper. A person to give you a sign. You're not paying attention. Your life depended on it. If you're miserable as an adult, that's on you. It's a manner of feeling, acting, and thinking that shows you our disposition, our opinion, and personality. And this instrument of communication is a moment-to-moment projection of our thoughts and our feelings unto the world and how we view things. And based on whatever you send out, the world responds to you. Our attitude is a powerful tool which can be used effectively to attract desired people, things, and circumstances into our life experience. I promise you this. Man, I operate so on a higher level. If a person come to me negatively, at the end of the day, they be like, damn, I couldn't rattle them. When you operate on a higher level, nothing's rattle you because you operate in a higher self. You got to understand this, and people are going to check themselves before they even come to you because they already see the light shining. They already know this. The two primary components of attitude are projection and perception. And your self-image is communicated or projected to others through your attitude. How people, right? This communication projected by you is then perceived by others, and they respond accordingly. And if you desire other people to be friendly, kind, and generous towards you, then you must project just those qualities in your attitude towards them. Y'all not listening to me. That's one of the 7 Kemetic principles, the law of attraction. You attract certain things. I attract certain things. I'm attracting certain people. That's what this is about. We got to use our attitude most effectively. We must recognize these two components and strive to make the projection and perception of our self-image the one and the same. When we talk about objects of man's life, and according to Islam, American Islam, it's the complete enfoldment. And Islam teaches that man is born with unlimited capabilities for progress. When I ask men, are you have a disability? No. Is something wrong with your mind? No. Then why are you not living to your maximum capabilities? Because my brain operate. I'm living my life, and I'm gonna do this to the day the flesh is gone. We continue to progress. Who told you that it's a certain time when you must succeed? Oh, who told you that? European. You looking at some clock, and the clock is within. We must continue to go if the flesh is pumping. You never stop. It teaches that everyone has within him or herself the seed of perfect development, and it rests solely within ourselves to make or miss our future. We got to teach science, and our life shall be useful. Nevertheless, the attainment of virtue, which we account as the highest learning, and the science of happiness is the study of our lives. You got to read carefully the doctrines of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, all the teachings. It contains our hopes, our aims, our rules, our articles of what? Religion or spirituality. You got to know what the root of words mean before you diss anything, because Moorish science is connecting yourself to God. Everything else is international, local, state, federal law connected to the Constitution. The highest heights are gained by those who reach the greatest depth. and you shall reach the greatest depth. The guide then led the way. The guide, or the map, or the angel in the flesh, lead the way. The guy in the flesh then was Noble Drew Ali. Now I'm leading it today. Fallen humanity. Who? It's this right here. The woman. This is the great meeting. This is the great meeting. I don't know what Moorish talking about. This is the great meeting. Man, woman, producing what? Life. The great meeting is on. The prophet said, I am the question and the answer. When I say I'm the Bay and the L, I'm the judge and the executioner. I'm the question and the answer. It's just what it is. Great is the large importance. Meeting is to come together for a specific purpose. On is used as a function word, indicate a time frame during which something takes place. Star, the most powerful of all graphic symbols, geometric symbol of harmony. Health and mystic powers, when we talk about that pentagram or the Kabbalah, is also the symbol of sovereignty, divinity, guidance, and guardianship. The crescent moon, the divine authority, increase, resurrection, and with a star of paradise. The star and the crescent, we must be a star inside the crescent. It doesn't waver from its spot. It's always fixed in steady faith, Moors. Therefore, we must have such steady faith in Allah, in man. Hand press, a symbol. The hand press, that symbol, union, which signifies a certain equality of status, the unity of one another, one aim and one destiny. Salvation, the life process of freedom of the soul through the Moorish process of education, of the human development of the will to become free of the chains of the body. I'm telling y'all, Moors, the great meeting is on. I'm going to give y'all some Quranic questionnaire studies. That's why I know these Moors don't know nothing in the temples, because they don't have the literature. Allah is the prophet name of the divine beings, while he is mentioned by a number of other names, every one of which refers to one of his attributes. Allah comprising all the attributes by which he is known. Allah is not a contradiction of Alila or L-I-L-A-H, the God. It has never been applied to any being except the only God, Moors. And as a proper name, it cannot be translated into any language, nor is equivalent of it met within any other language. Muslim, M-O-S-L-E-M, and Muslim, M-U-S-L-I-M, speak of the Supreme Being as Allah. The word God in the English language is not the substitute for Allah. I'm telling y'all. Our Moorish Quran, chapter 1. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil of soil. It grew apace, and man became a living soul. Father, one who creates or originates something. Also the first person of the Trinity, uni, which means single one, the U-N-I, the V-E-R-S-E, are words in a song that can produce harmony. So when I say universe, really it's all existing things. Research in your Webster's dictionary. I'm telling y'all, you're going to get a great education in linguistics. Nobody's going to be able to come to you with garbage. In our Moorish Quran, chapter 35, verse 1, there is but one Allah, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. We cannot see him. He is a spirit, a real essence. In our Moorish Quran, chapter 8, verse 9, nor can man see the spirit of the Holy One. So when we talk about the heart, the vital center of one's being, you got to understand that the heart of the mind, and through silence, Allah communes with the heart of men and women. Through love, spirit embraces every soul, and through the experience comes wisdom. Chapter 38, verse 6. Know that as thy heart, so also thy soul is one. Noble, high moral character, as honor, generosity, or courage, a noble soul. A noble soul. You can't have these titles and you're not really this. You're perpetrating. Superior in nature, exalted, That's what a noble is. Superior in nature, exalted, drew, to move with force, strength. Ali, most high. Our Moorish Quran, the cover, the divinely prepared by Noble Drew Ali, by the guiding of his father God, Allah. Listen to this. Not all forms are physical. Not all forms are physical. Remember this. Not all forms are physical. A thought, for example, is a form, right? But it's not physical. A thought is what? Energy or light that has been shaped by consciousness. And nothing can or have a form without a color, nor tone without a color. In our Moorish Quran, chapter 1, all thought of Allah are infinite. The thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past until the never-ending days to come. And so is man, the spirit man. Prophet, one who delivers divine messages or interprets the divine will. A religious leader, one who foretells the future. I just tell you what a prophet is. Ain't that somebody? They done made everything magical when I tell more is a Messiah. A Messiah is flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. Messiah is someone that looks like you, that's delivering you a message. You know my mother. We know each other. But everybody in religion, they always make things magical. Al-Islam, Fire Muhammad. We ain't seen him with all this, man, gone. We know the truth. We know the truth. A prophet, the magi, adapt. It's all the same. Priest, it's all the same if you understand language. That's why, just like in the biblical scriptures, it says it's qualifications of a pastor, it's qualifications of a minister, magi, priest, when we're using it in the right connotation. It's qualifications, man. Y'all know this. And it's not just picking up no books. And it's not just wearing no clothes. You must live it. And you must be able to connect things in nature. You can't live in a hypocritical life, acting like a log just pointing. Prophet, one who delivers divine messages or interprets the divine will. A religious leader, one who foretells the future. Wrath is implied here, not of anger, but in justice. When I talk about this is the wrath of Ali, or when I say this is a holy breath. Well, I ain't coming in no anger. I'm coming in justice. And justice come in many forms. If we're trying to prove something, we don't got to come smiling with our teeth all out. We come in sure. Punishment will be given to the nations who do not obey Allah's laws and principles. In our Moorish Quran, chapter 35, verse 25, oh, think not, bold men, because thy punishment is delayed. Or you think everything's cool because your punishment is delayed? You think you got away with something? Yeah, right. The great God, Allah, see everything. That's why when I says in the biblical scriptures, it says when you were the child, you act like a child. But when you became a man, you put away all childish ways. You don't think nobody see you? If you do things justly when nobody ain't looking at you. You ain't just because when people see you do things right. You're just when the lights is off, when ain't nobody looking at you. Let me see if you just then. Let me see what you sell out. Let me see what you take that check and then nobody know. That's righteousness. So when we talk about found, to lay the foundation of, establish on a foundation or basis, to give origin, to establish, set up, to found a college or a family. I mean, I can go on when they get in about the science of letters and numerology. When we talk about 1913, how we break all stuff down. I'm not finna get all in that yet because that's for school. I'm courting y'all. But I said it's a lot that we're going to get deep in. And I know a lot of Moors don't have it because they don't have the literature. They don't have the discovery questions. They don't have the stuff. I got it all. I got all the literature. I got all the literature. And all my students are going to get it. And you're going to be able to get all books that you might not even have or know about. You're going to be able to get it from me. Just like Noble, when I was telling you got Thomas Jefferson Quran, like you said, you might not have known. But I'm telling you now, once you know, you shouldn't go on that platform again and get nothing to give your money away. You're part of a school, and any book you get is tax exempt. Like, I was looking at a more page, he was like, man, and he was just posting a meme. And so one of my empress inboxed him. She was like, Noble, do you got the book? He was like, no, but I want it. And she was like, well, Brother Bay, you on this page every day? He got all books. Why you ain't getting the books from Brother Bay? Let me tell you what the Negro said. This is how I know Negroes operate in a lower self. because they was like, oh man, you counting my pockets. And that's what Negroes do. You'll give your money to where the people don't even know you, don't even give a damn. But when your own brother got something, we can create wealth and we can create finances. Now we won't do it because you're looking at your own brother pocket, and that's the problem with Negroes. We won't support each other. We won't support each other. But see, let me tell y'all something. When I said I can give a damn if a Negro or a Moor buy something from me, because I'm a teacher and I'm an adept, and I have people that buy all books from me. These college teachers, professors, I do lectures everywhere. I print books for students. I write papers, so I can care less if a Moor buy anything from me. That's your fault, and that's your lack of not getting the wisdom. You will be going all over the place looking for stuff. And so I know more. Then a Negro hit me up and I said, man, you ain't got to lie to me, because see, I know vibrations. I'm looking right in your eyes. I'm seeing you jealous, because that's what Negroes do. We don't want to build. We don't understand about being one body, many parts. We want to replace somebody. So I said, I don't care about no dudes following me. We got a whole printing press. Like Moors be like, man, I need the book. Moors just be posting books, just be posting memes of books. Oh, this heavy. I said, man, it ain't heavy. You don't even have it. And then you'll go on Amazon and order something, and I'm like, I got every book. I tell Moors about our status. When you buy something from Amazon, you bought it. You gave the money away. When you get something from us, you're donating to the nonprofit, to your organization. It's tax exempt, because we're tax exempt federal, religious, scientific education, just like any other nonprofit organization. So you support your brother. We print these. Go on Amazon and see how much it costs if they still got it. Go on Amazon and see how much Ivan Van Sertima book, Golden Age of the Moors, costs. Go on Amazon and see how much the real call of the Indian of the Western Hemisphere, see how much it costs. Go on Amazon and see how much the hidden call of the Civil War costs. It costs 250 grand. I got books from Harvard and Cambridge because I got professors. I know people that's museums. I got access to all type of stuff. And that's why I said I know Moore's motive. I know more, and then I know Moore's motive. This is the first thing that a Moor say, oh, I didn't know. And I'm not saying about nobody particular. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. How's it going?
Hi.
How can I help you?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you guys hiring?
No, we hire for prom. And we are only high school students. At this store, we don't hire a lot because the business is real slow.
Oh.
But we just hire for like high school kids during prom time.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, we already graduated.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, thank
You're welcome. You guys have a good one.
You too.
Mm-hmm. What do you say? An arm and two legs. Yeah. Yeah. And so when I tell Moors, they be like, oh, I didn't know more. And I see Moors on my page every day. And I'm like, I'll promote everything on my page. You have direct connection with me. It's all about you asking. It's all about action. So then when Moors see I got all these books that I have, Moors see I got whole libraries, Moors follow me, and the first thing we'll do, we'll go and give our money somewhere else, but then you follow me. Or I like that, or I like them books, or I like all them books, but ain't no Moors. They ain't getting them from me. Moors go right to Amazon and buy some. I'm like, man, you know I'm a nonprofit. You know I'm a real organization. You know you can get it from me. We charge a little bit more, but it's a tax write-off for you. You get to claim every book from me. Anything you get to claim it. When you buy something from Amazon, you can't claim nothing because it's not under that status. It's not under that tax code. And that's why I'm saying we can make anything that our religious house, our spirituality, our nationality, organization successful if we support it. If Moors was getting all their books from me, everything, we already be successful. We already had a temple, already been unbought the building. Because there's enough Moors that act like they buying books or just posting books on their page. And I'm like, have you read it? No. Do you have it? No. You can get them. And then you can go on and you can study with me. I have a book club and we can go over the literature. What y'all think I'm doing? Just giving y'all nonsense? That's what I be telling Moors. I'm like, man, we ain't serious about what we doing. If our freedom is wrapped against education, our nationality, and finances, and we'd rather give our funds away to other platforms that don't even know us, and your own brother have the platform where you can get that, and your brother might just charge, like, you pay a book, Amazon, it costs $40, but at our auspices, we say it costs $50 because we a nonprofit and we trying to raise money, and you get a tax exempt status for buying that piece of book and supporting our nonprofit, man, that's sad. And that's why I said I'm gonna show these Moors. Y'all gonna miss me when I'm gone. I guarantee you that. Because we're gonna keep going further and further and further and further. Educational wise. We got all the literature, we got all the books. I heard a Moor say something about, oh, they don't need this no more. Well, all my students gonna have it. I told y'all this book is out of print. Try to buy this on Amazon. I bet you can't find it. I bet you can't find it on Amazon. It's out of print because a lot of stuff that they use, you can't have access to it. I have it. And I told y'all this, I'm going to be emailing all of my students PDF. So the ones that didn't get it yet, I will be PDF this to you. You need to know all this. Moors be talking about they don't need nothing no more. I said, oh, you need to run for that fool because he don't know law. And I said, oh, you don't. Oh, so I say, you don't need to know the definition of false imprisonment. They be like, yep. You don't need to know what constitutes false imprisonment, the length of time required, damages and liability, malicious prosecution, arrest without warrant, the law of the land, summons, complaint, memorandum of the law on arrest without warrant, breach of the peace and felony arrest. What is breach of the peace? Arrest for breach of the peace. Threatened breach of the peace. Conditions of felony arrest. Don't you want to know this? I told y'all the true art of war is understanding how everybody think. Not no damn gun. They'll drop something in the sky. They'll poison that McDonald's you eat every day. You talk about the art of you need some gun. Man, forget your gun. You can't eat that gun. Forget your money too. Defenses to unlawful arrest, burden of proof, good faith, and probable cause, ignorance of law. Remember when I told you in the court of law, there's not no excuse of not knowing the law? You ignorant of law. You have no business to be here. I'm going to lock your goofy butt up for 72 hours. Make you think about it. Guilty of party arrest. The use of a warrant in arrest, bring an arrested person before a magistrate. Man, definition of false imprisonment, arrest without warrant, breach of the peace. And you telling me you don't need to know about this? You must be crazy in your head. But that's okay. You're going to miss me when I'm gone. Because I told you, I won't be giving no more teaching. This is the last teaching, I promise y'all. This is the last teaching to the public. I've been courting y'all. This is it. This is it. You will get ministry because I'm a divine minister. No more teaching. I'm going to leave y'all with this. And I told Morris, I'm going to give y'all this little piece. So part 2, I hope y'all get that little part 2. I hope you save it. If you're not a student, man, it ain't nothing I can tell you. Moore's be hitting me up talking about, am I going to nationalize you? And I say, man, that's a fraud and a sin. Listen to this and listen to this clearly. Please, you must listen to this clearly. Our prophet Jurali told us this already. It was dirty Moors. They've been busy burying us as a people. Just like our prophet said, and he warned, I'm doing it today. Some Moors, I call them domestic terrorists, they take this movement down so low, it will disappear from the face of the earth. And you Moors won't know what I came here to give y'all. And for 15 years, man, a lot of stuff that was happening when our prophet was in the flesh. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of stuff, they taking this European masonry stuff like they're gods. And they're following the 3 leaders successorship of past moderates, beginning with the first post, Drew Ali, Freemason, Charles Kirkman Bey, and Lovell. They claim to have the power to make Moorish Americans out of members, divine minister out of sheiks. I hope y'all listening. And adepts out of officials. And to make a man as one can make a mason is the practice of Freemasonry at its most unscrupulous heights. To nationalize or to make or to denationalize any human is both a sin or a crime. No God, prophet, or grand man has the power to nationalize any man or woman or child. And those that have taken away a man's true identity are criminals. This practice gave the U.S. courts and outside world the illusion that the Moorish Scientific of America was a religion whose members used its tenets were nationalized with the name Moorish American and loaned the organizational marks of B&L. Needful to say, this nationalization hoodwinking was never empowered or practiced by our Prophet Noble Drew Ali or any other upright man. No man has the power to nationalize another man. This would change him from the descendant nature of his forefathers. If one can nationalize, or if one can make, which is nationalize, a Moorish American, one can also make a Chinese or Irish or Sudanese at will. You never thought about that? But they can do something for your black butt, and you ain't even think about that. Or they got the power to do something for you, but okay, what about everybody that's been misnomered? Do something for them. Give them their nationality back. They can't, because it's hogwash. The act brought a 75-year practice of clandestine cultism within the various Moorish scientific groups, and how it systematically denounced 98% of its members as non-Moorish or repo their tribal Bay or L. And I tell y'all, an entity that eats its young can never be prosperous, y'all. This is why the average Negro, black, and colored today, they don't know nothing about the true uplifting duties of our prophet. Right? A lot of Negro, blacks, and colored who do not know the great God of our forefathers that ordained us a redeemer, gave us a redeemer. We all deserve to know these truths and make a choice. And this is the main reason why I give y'all this science, man. You know, I told y'all, if the Moorish Science Temple is chartered the right way, the Moorish Science Temple limitations are restricted to only teach its members their nationality and their divine creed. If they the Moorish Science Temple of America and they're chartered the right way, because it says on your charter, it says the Moorish Science Temple constitutional. The constitutional limitations are restricted to only teach its members their nationality and divine creed. That's all they should be teaching. So if any more talk about they teaching you some civics and they ain't no real divine minister or teaching real law, you out of pocket. You out of pocket. So log back in for the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment, and I'm done. Islam.